All right, guys, we are going to root up some Hoya cuttings. Squirrels have gotten to my stuff again, and just the heat alone. So I have some of this Hoya here, and it's been rooted in soil, but the squirrels have dug it up, and part of them have started to die. So I went ahead and rinsed the soil off of them, and I'm going to trim them up and pot them in these cute little planters. I probably will take some of these smaller ones, like this size, and put them in pots and do something kind of cute with them, and hope they make it. Usually on these thin-leafed Hoyas or these little-leafed Hoyas, this isn't really a thin-leafed Hoya, but this is a Bilobata, I think, if I remember right. But uh, oftentimes it's real risky to try to plant them on long stems, like repot them, but they have roots. So I'm hoping that because they have roots, I can actually do that and put them in sphagnum moss. But I'll keep a close eye on them. If they start to fail, I would give this maybe a 75% chance of really rooting up and doing well, mainly because they've been under such stress with the squirrels digging them out. So we'll see how it goes. And then if they start to decline, what I'll do is I'll cut them in between each of these leaf nodes and try to propagate them that way. But I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can get some traction with them, just potting them up in sphagnum. So I am going to start, I think, with this piece. And I don't like this leaf. It's kind of ugly. So I've already sprayed these. I'm going to go ahead and cut that leaf off. But let's plant that one up and see what it does. So I've got a really big hole in the ceramic container, so I've put some landscape fabric in there. I've let my sphagnum moss kind of soak for about 30 minutes just to get it nice and soggy. But I wring it out just like I would like a kitchen sponge. That's about right. So you want it to feel like a kitchen sponge. Oh, there's a piece of wire. All right, I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to, I think, kind of place it like that. I wonder what two would look like. I'm trying to, that one doesn't have any roots, so I need to propagate that one in a different way. But maybe having two of them might be kind of cute. I want it to kind of have that cascading, simple look. I don't know. Here's a little one. I might be able to do them all together, kind of. That might be kind of cute because some of these are too little to kind of put in their own pot. This one doesn't have roots, so I'm going to propagate it differently. But I think I might be able to get this whole plant kind of cascading in that. And I make macrame holders, so that might be kind of cute. So let's do that. I'm going to take some of this out and start making little root balls. So you can kind of see I make them kind of squishy like that. So it kind of looks like that. And I'm going to put this one, oh, the dogs hear something, down in like that. And then I'm going to take another piece, do the same thing. I'm really trying to grab all these roots and make sure I've got them all covered with some sphagnum. And I'm going to put this one in here like that. And I'm kind of pushing down on them a little bit, but not, I'm going to cut this piece off. But I'm not pressing them in too heavily because I don't want them to have trouble with those roots. Hoyas really like to have roots that are airy and air. You know what? I've got 3 more. I'm wondering, I'm going to put the smallest of them in here, and then I'm going to do another container of them because I'm kind of running out of room here. I'm going to pin this one down because I want it to grow on the side like this. And I do like to pin them down because this is weird. What's happening here? I don't know. Especially when I start to water them so they don't fall out. And I want them to just really take root here. Even though they do have roots, I want to really make sure they have roots. So it looks a little janky now, but it'll make a cute little pot. If it's real possible that this long end is going to start to struggle. And if it does, I'll cut it back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cut it. I have decided. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it right there. So there we go. There's one little pot. And then I'm going to put this with the rest of the group over here that doesn't have roots and take the next ones and make some more. Now, this one doesn't have a hole in it, but that's okay because it's sphagnum. I would not put a Hoya in soil with this. So I'm just going to start there. And I don't know, this one looks terrible. I honestly don't think that one's going to make it. So I may put it in last and see what it does, but I'm not having really high hopes for that one. The leaves are kind of wrinkly and they look dehydrated, so I'm not sure. But let me go ahead and take some of this out. Put this in. Oh, so cute. I love mini plants. These tiny little plants are so cute. They are kind of a pain in the butt because you have to water them a little bit more because they're in such small containers. But I love to put these on shelves and spaces where you don't think you're going to be able to put a plant. You can kind of squeeze these in. The trick is to not forget about them because they do dry out really quickly. But I've got a couple of macrame holders, and I don't know, I might make these into gifts as soon as I know that they're going to make it. So, all right, those are those two. And not feeling great about this one. So even though it's got roots, actually, nope, I'm going to let it go. It's not going to take root. The chances of that rooting is really low, so we're going to stop there. As far as the other ones, I'm going to cut them between each internode. So like this is going to be one plant, but you got to make sure to keep those nodes on there. So I'm going to save the ones that look good. Some of these leaves are dehydrated, and the chances of them propagating are really low. So just the ones that I think are going to propagate are the ones I'm going to keep. So I'm going to keep that one. I'm not going to keep that. No, 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 no. Yes. And I'm going to cut that one, cut that one. So as you can see, I'm keeping the nodes on there because without those nodes, they are not going to root up. It's so funny. I know there's like some thoughts on like what this plant's name actually is. Some say that it's Bilobata. Some say it's, what is the other one? Butonae or Butonae. I don't know what this is. I got this one from Lowe's, so no telling what it actually is. It was labeled as a Bilobata. So we'll see what it turns out to be. Once it flowers, we'll know for sure. And I don't know, they may even be the same thing and it's like two different names, but I've seen a lot online about the debate between what this plant's name really is. Those are not any good. So who knows? I don't care. They're pretty. I do like them. And I'm not so worried about what their actual name is. I don't sell this one typically because, like I said, you can get these at Lowe's. And So I typically don't try to sell these. So I really don't care that they're labeled properly, because I never want to sell plants to people under the premise that it's a certain plant when it's not. So if I have any doubt that the plant isn't what it's labeled as, I won't sell it anything other than a no ID or a NOID. I call it NOID, but it's a no ID. And that's just because you don't want to sell plants that you don't know what their names are. Sell them under a false identity, especially if you want a reputation as a reliable plant seller, dealer, if for lack of a better word. But so what I'm doing is I'm just taking each of these nodes, making a little pocket around the nodes. I do want to make sure the growth points are still visible, because you don't want to smother them. But I'm just setting them in here. I may or may not pin some of these. We'll see how they fit in here. Like this one, I think I'm going to pin. And that's just because it's not really secure and set in there. Just kind of fill in the pot. And I'm just going to make one pot of these. So what I'm doing is I'm picking the ones that I think have the best chance of propagating first, and then after that I'll add to it. I've changed my camera angle a little bit so that y'all can see me, although that's not the reason y'all watch this, I'm sure. But I don't know. This hurts my back. I may or may not continue to do it this way because I feel like I'm reaching a lot. Maybe if I stand up, maybe that's what I need to do. That might work. But this leaf doesn't look very good, so I'm going to throw it away. This one doesn't either. This one's pretty good. We'll make this the last one, because I really only have room, I think, for one more. So, all right. I'm going to put a pin in this one because it's acting like it wants to jump out of the pot. All right, there we go. I'm going to put them in the propagation station and see how they do. Thanks.